So after about 9 months, we finally moved back onto the PE Ranger. I wonder where I put the case. Well, that's going to be another story. Anyway, we're moving back onto the PE Ranger. And I forgot that this one had got corrosion damage, which we'd done our best with. So the thing to do was to change the batteries. And I've had 2 different orderings. I've had the other batteries, and I've changed my mind. And so what we've done is to order these, which I think are intended for the radio control model type of environment. And these 6 volt 400 milliamps. So if you remember, the ones that came out were 250 milliamps. The ones we're putting in are 400, so they're going to last a little bit longer, aren't they? So we'll take these connectors off with a nice pair of cutters, and then I no doubt I'll have to put this on charge overnight. There's a 555 timer here as part of the charge circuit. It isn't a timer charger, it isn't a smart charger. You have got to do the maths, and you have got to turn it off after so many hours. So that's what we'll do. Now, how we're going to mount these, looking at that, we're probably going to end up drilling a hole in the board and putting a cable tie through the 2 of them like that, so they don't, probably even better like that, so they're not rattling around in the radio. Obviously there's no chance of getting the nickel cadmium ones which were there originally. Now I remember there was a duff crystal on this, and we should be able to recover a duff crystal or a non-duff crystal out of a scrap 2-channel handheld, because I think it was channel 30 that was down. But again, the same applies to, this is why this has been on one side. The Grandstand P2004, you know, with all the duff crystals in that, nothing I can do, which is sensible. Yeah, we can spend hundreds of pounds on it, but that's not sensible. So can we actually pass a wire through this hole? And the answer is no. Let's try a thinner wire. Just seeing whether it has got a hole in it. So you've got prints come away there. I'm going to have to look at the original article. I mean, it looks to me like the print quite simply goes round there like that, but I'm going to have to look at the printed circuit board layout to absolutely verify that that's the case. So on the other side, what have we got? So the other connection is there. Let's see if we can unsolder that. We've just done that. We actually put some batteries in that grandstand, and I just had Mr. Chippie go up to the petrol station. The idea was to prove that the error was connected. This is difficult to unsolder because of the damage from corrosion. because I can't unsolder it. So I think I'll take this across to the organ workshop and we'll drill the strap holes for the batteries and we'll put a 1mm hole somewhere where it's less damaged. Right, so it's back from the other workshop. In actual fact, Mr. Chippie did this. Also put some hot glue on that transformer because that's a really weak point if this was even dropped 6 inches. So that's tie wrapped in. You can see how we've done that. And then we just need to make one more connection. That one which I couldn't unsolder, we've drilled a new one there. And we just need to put one connection in. And I just need to check where this is all disintegrated, don't I? So I've printed off a copy of the magazine. First few pages of colour. And then we move over to... But if you looked at the first part 9 months ago, I said it was part 1 of 2. I didn't say when part 2 was going to be. We need to look at the printer circuit pattern. So where it's come away is there. For neatness, I think we'll have the wire coming through there, and then we'll put a wire link in to bridge where it's rotted out. So this, when I connect it, means the set is live. I've made sure it's off at the on and off switch. So these batteries are shipped with some charge in them. I can't get that through. Perhaps I could if it was a bit more unsoldered. There we are. Done. So we'll put a bit of a wire link in there. I think we'll put a bit of insulated wire. There's about to be some scrap something kicking around on here. There's a bit of wire. So it's actually come away there as well. It actually needs to go to that there. Good. So now when we switch on, except we've got no speaker connected, have we? Did we come to the conclusion that was the speaker? I think we must have done. So is that 3.5mm, or is it a duff 2.5mm? No, it's a duff 2.5mm. So we should have an adapter on here. Well, we should have. Looks like we're going to hold the wires onto there for now. I can't hear anything. Right, we'll connect it to the bench. External power, 12 volts. So that's fine, but it's not working on battery, so I have to fault find why that is. I'm sure the battery's not that flat, they usually shift with something in. We did just check the voltage meter. You know, this kind of job is a faff. So we know that the ground plane is earth, and that's we can see we've got voltage there. Switch the radio on. So we've still got voltage there. So I'd better look at the circuit diagram to see what happens. So, external power through that diode, see the on and off switch, so we know that's working. Internal power, see that 0 goes to chassis, or the ground plane of the printed circuit, which it does. We know we've got the negative end of the battery to there. We know we've got the positive end to there. So there must be something open circuit between there and the on and off switch. So we need to look at diode 202, make sure we've got power going through that. So we looked at that on the layout. And when was this last on battery? I'll probably put a link to part 1 of this from 9 months ago if I remember. 202 is there. So between ground, let's assume that's ground, and that diode, got 12 volts. We've got 12 volts there. Okay, so it's working on battery now. So whatever it was has cleared. Could have been the on and off switch dirty. Right. So it's working on battery. So the next thing we need to do is check that the charge circuit works. So let's see what they say about that. So with the original battery of 250 milliamp hour, they reckon it's good for 4 to 5 hours use on a 10 to 1 receive transmit duty cycle. Well, normal duty cycle is something like 5% transmit, 10% receive, and 85% standby. So that's really just the overview. So let's just have a look at how this. We're basically going to have to switch this on overnight, aren't we? And check the charger. $10 to 14 hours. It's going to be pretty much the same. This battery's what, 75% higher, not double, but it is higher. So I'm going to have to get the. This is where at least things are shrouded to some degree, but this is where we're going to have to get a power feed onto the bench. Here goes. So we're going to have mains now on this side of the board. So we're just going to check we've got mains. Right. We'll just check AC coming out. Yep. So that battery was 12.8 before, so let's see what that battery is now. It's 13.06, so it is charging. So if we unplug it and go back to the battery, .01. So there we go, put it back on charge. .06, so it is charging. So that's good. So there's one, I'll take that off for now, I'll leave it overnight. There was an anomaly, wasn't there? If I remember rightly, it wasn't either transmitting or receiving on one channel. So it had a crystal issue. And I never thought to try the solder blob method. So I think it was channel 30 that was playing up. 1, 2, 3. That should be channel 30. So we'll get the mic out. That's not the mic for it. It's so long ago I can't even remember what came with it. Pause the video. Right, we'll be back to the resume because I haven't been recording because I forgot to put the memory stick in the record thing. So I've ended up with Mr. Chippie's cold, if I sound like a first class ticket to Nottingham. So what we've done is to buy a Sonic handheld. What is it? This WT622. Got an intact aerial anyway. It's the 10.4 Envoy, is it? Right, anyway, we've pinched the channel 30 crystal out of that, but I don't think it's going to be compatible having done it because it's 13 point, it's double or half, so that is not good. So fitted it, and what we're going to do as a reference, I'll put it on channel 9. So the crystal I've taken out is there, and the crystal I've put in is the one with the solder on, which is there. All I need is a mic. So in view of me having misplaced the customer's Adastra original mic, this is my brand new, out of the unbuilt kit, Adastra mic with the are they Reace? What Reace? What? It's probably glasses on. What make? The high quality metal plugs, Rian. So we'll just run it on its battery, which I did charge up. I've no doubt I mentioned in the video you just count 16 hours for the charge. Nothing automatic about it. So we'll switch on. We will plug it in to my extension speaker so we actually hear it, which is that's the stereo adapter. There should be a 2.5mm adapter on here. Yeah, right, well. Yeah, just holding the wires on, that's working. So let's put picture in picture on. So we should have transmit. We have 68184 for channel 9. So let's go to channel 30. Well, we'll build this up. Channel 13, 72175, 73110. So slightly low. It's trying to get a compromise when you've only got one single transmit adjustment. No, we're not going to have anything on transmit on channel 30. Oh dear. Well, we've gone to a lot of trouble. So there's only the Tandy ones do it. The Tandy sets only came with channel 20 fitted, so you've got no chance of buying the Tandy crystals, have you, from 40 years ago. We'll get the crystal tester. That's it. I don't think we're going to be able to progress and do anything without spending a huge sum of money. Oh well, we'll be able to put that crystal back in the set and then we've got two. Right, we'll get the crystal tester out.
So our 13.94 meg crystal is exactly that, so there's no arguing, that's what it is. Our channel 30 Tandy crystal it's third, isn't it? It's 9.2957, you see, so it's times 3. 9.2957 times 3, 27,887. Yeah, all we can do is put that back and send it back to him. What a shame. So I spent 9 months in the hope of doing the battery, succeeded, and doing a crystal which I've not succeeded in. I left that switched on. Pop that back in. So that'll now need to cool down. I'll get a frequency chart because I can't remember what the channels are supposed to be. I normally only need to know channel 1, channel 20 and channel 40. Here we go. So once again, we'll switch on and we'll start at the bottom, which is channel 13. So picture in picture onto the frequency counter. So we're going to have a compromise because you've only got that one adjustment. And I want it on which camera? Right. So that was channel 30, 27,89125. Which I should be able to hear. Yep. Good. So bottom channel on transmit, channel 13 should be 27,72125. And it's 1286, so that's fine, that's slightly high. Then the next channel we've got is 14, so that should be 27,73125, which it is very close to. That's so far the best. Channel 30, we're going to skip that for now. Go to channel 9, should be 27.68125. 68194, slightly high, that's fine. And channel 30, so it should be 27.89125. Testing 1 2 1 2. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2 1 2 1 2. It's so far off. It's on channel 29, so it's off frequency, and there's nothing we can do about that. So at least we know it's the third overtone crystals. So it should be 9 point whatever that frequency is divided by 3. So we've got to the bottom of that. But there's absolutely nothing I can do except order from Belgium a custom crystal for £35 plus postage plus so on, and of course it's not worth it. So channel 30 is not going to work, is it? So we're still back to where we were 9 months ago when we changed the battery. Right, we're going to put it in a box. Right, there's a last glimpse of it with the 1 2 3 4 self tappers through the board. Does it tell you what these screws are? No, it wouldn't be that generous, would it? I'll measure these. Alright, I'll do a final test. We'll use channel 14. Transmit 300 and something milliwatts. We're on the right meter? No, we're not. It's basically like a normal set on low power. Deviation, wallow. Set alright. Receive, we'll do it on channel 30 because we were set up for that. I can't plug in, I can't tell you the sign advert, that's 1 microvolt. We did all this in part 1. For a single conversion receiver, we just hear 0.3, so it's not bad at all. What else is there to note? Not a lot. So things I want to note before sending it back is the length of these screws and what the impedance of the Adastra M50 is, because I need to get another one of those for myself. His isn't lost, it's misplaced, there's a difference. Anyway, gets a new one, but it's the correct brand new one. So we'll plug it into the aerial like we do. We'll flick round the available channels. Remember, it will receive on channel 30. So, $14 Roger. Nothing on 13, nothing on 14, nothing on 30, and nothing on 9. Squelch works. Might even pick up my signal generator if I just wave the wires somewhere near. Yes, that's alright. Turn the test set off. Now before we put the this out, I'll just see if Mr. Chippie will talk to us from the other room. Just working on batteries. External power is through the DIN socket. Everything's in here. So it's September 1981, Practical Electronics. So it's September, October, November, December. I'll put the link to the people who have these available for free download, and then you can print yourself off one as well. So there we just about have it. Just pause the video and we'll just do a final little test with Mr. Chippie to the base station. Right, we'll draw this to a close, and I've got Mr. Chippie on our Midland base station in the other room. We already did an on-the-air test 9 months ago with this, so we'll just do this now. It's on its internal speaker with the factory original mic. Channel 13. Tango 21, Mr. Chippie.
Yep, Tango 21, go ahead.
Yep, just testing this radio. Can you pop it onto channel 14, please?
Yeah, Roger.
Testing on channel 14.
Yep, still working.
And then we'll go to channel 9. Tango 21 on channel 9.
Yep, Tango 21, receiving loud and clear.
Okay, thank you. Test ends.
Roger.
Well, there we go. It's a lot of work over a lot of time. 3 different ideas with batteries, one of which ended up being implemented. All that work trying to help with his crystal problem, but that's to no avail. So, thank you for watching part 2 of the PE Ranger, which can actually finally go back to its customer after 9 months.